Hola mi gente, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amavi, and today we're going to talk about my Lasik experience, how everything went, how I'm doing now. So keep on watching. I got LASIK back in January 13th to be exact, and I'm not gonna lie. Like days before the surgery, I was freaking out. I was so scared, and I was looking at videos of the surgery, which didn't make it any better because looking at the surgeries is terrifying. If you look LASIK procedure videos, they are so terrifying. So I was definitely reconsidering it. I'm like, should I go with it? Should I not go with it? And then I was looking at reviews. Some people are like, don't do it. It's not worth it. I didn't have a good experience, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, well, I can't really back out now. I'm already like a little too invested into it. The day of the surgery comes, and we drive an hour there since it was in Springfield, Missouri. And the place that I got my surgery done was called the Missouri Eye Institute. They told me to be there 30 minutes prior to my surgery because they wanted to run some tests on me just to make sure that I qualified for it. So I was like, bet, let's do it. So they ran multiple tests, which I am so happy and so thankful that they did, because that gave me some reassurance that everything was gonna go smoothly. They did a lot of tests, checking my eyes, the vision, the care, and just everything, just making sure that everything was like again, I was a candidate for it. So then they're like, yes, you can go through with the surgery. I was like, okay. So I am in the waiting room, nervous as fuck. I'm with my older brother, and he's like, are you nervous? I'm like, yes, like terrified. And then finally they called me into a different waiting room, which was like reminding me of like a spa-ish area. It was really small. It fit like 4 people in there. It was dark in there, and it was like really, really quiet. And there's like 4 people there, and they put you on like who's next up to the surgery. So if you're like next, you have like a hair mask on, scrubs on, ready for surgery. That made me even more nervous. So I sit back in this like reclined chair. It was so nice. They try to make you as relaxed as possible. And then they gave me a Xanax to relax and just to calm me down. That was my first time ever taking a Xanax. And it did relax me. And then it relaxed some people a little too much, because there were some people sleeping in there, and I was like, wow. But then they put drops in my eyes 3 times, like 3 different intervals. And then they ask you if you want another Xanax, and I was like, no, because I felt like I was already good. I'm like a small individual. I don't think I needed that much of a dose anyway. So I was like, no, I don't want any more. And then they this is when I knew shit was getting real. They're like, all right, time to like scrub up, put on your hair mask. You're about to go next. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really about to do this. And I've never had surgery done before, so I was even more terrified, because I'm like, what if something goes wrong? All those like bad thoughts. And then they called me in. They're like, it's your turn. And I'm over here like, I'm like, all right, it's now or never. I go into the surgery room, and there's like 4 people in there. I lay down on the bed thingy, whatever, the bed rest, the bed. They told me to lay down. And so he's like explaining it to me. He's like, it's gonna be really quick, all you have to do is just like stare at the laser essentially, and that's it. And I was like, okay. I'm like, sounds easy enough. And then they're like, all right, we're gonna like open up your eyes. So they get this like apparatus thingy that opens up your eye, which is uncomfortable, but it's not like intolerable. It's just like annoying to have on there, but it's needed, obviously. So they put this apparatus in my eye to open it up, and then they put some drops in my eye, and then yeah, he's like, stare at this laser. So I did, and then you, like, from my perspective, you see like this laser, and then you can't see anything. It like, you go blind for a second. It feels like you go blind because you can't see anything. But then that was it. It took less than 5 minutes for the procedure in total. I didn't feel anything, you know. I was just like a little uncomfortable, but that was it. And then covered up my flap because they like open up the flap of like the clear thing on your eye. And then they like put it back on, and then my eyesight was like really blurry for like a while. But other than that, that was it. It took less than 5 minutes. Like, honestly, waiting in the waiting rooms took longer than the procedure itself. And then they took me out into a different waiting room from the other two they've already put me in. And they were, while I was in there, sitting in there after my procedure, they were explaining like instructions to my brother, just what to do once I'm home and all of this. And then we leave. They gave me some goggles so I don't hurt my eye, because you're not allowed to rub your eyes for 1 to 2 weeks. Because if you rub your eye, then that flap that I told you that they cover can open up, and then your vision's gonna be blurry, and then that's not good, and then you'll have to come back, and you don't want to do that. So they give you these goggles, they give you sunglasses, they give you prescribed eye drops, and then they give you like a sheet of instructions of like what you can do and what you can't do. So while we're driving back, I get Chick-fil-A, I eat, and then that whole hour I just like passed out in the car, like passed out. And then once we got back home, I just slept for another 5 to 6 hours, which is recommended, and with the Xanax, it's like expected. So when I wake up though, my vision is still blurry. It is impossible for me to open my eyes. It is just so, my eyes are so watery, so I'm just like sitting in my bed like this with my eyes closed because it was so hard to open my eyes. This is post surgery, and it is impossible for me to open my eyes right now. It's very bright in this room. I shouldn't even be in this room, but I'm sleeping. I can't stop crying. I went to go eat, put on some eye drops, and then I went right back to bed. And then the next day you have to go back into the place for a post whatever. They just want to check. They just want to make sure that everything went well with the surgery. They just want to have like they just want to double check on that. So I went back, and surprisingly the next day I was able to see really good, like 20/20 vision. That's how crazy it was. Like, everything was good. Obviously it was still recommended that I didn't drive, so someone else drove me there. Still using the eye drops. I don't know if I mentioned this, but like, they give you some goggles to wear when you're sleeping, because like I said, you're not able to rub your eyes, and you can't really put pressure on it, so it like protects you from your sheets, or you like unconsciously like rubbing your eyes in your sleep. So you have to wear that for a whole week at nighttime, which is kind of annoying, but you know what, you gotta do what you gotta do. And then you have to put certain prescribed eye drops every hour for 48 hours. You can't wash your hair for 48 hours. And you can't wear makeup for like a week. I didn't do it for like a week and a half. Um, you can't go swimming, you can't go to the sauna, anything that like stuff can get in your eyes is not recommended. Again, still trying not to rub your eyes. But the healing process itself is pretty easy. As long as you do everything that they recommend, then everything should go smoothly. So you get a checkup the day after your surgery, then you have another checkup a week after your surgery, and then you have another one at 3 months, 6 months, and then a year. And then from there, I think it's a yearly thing, just to make sure, everything's good in your eyes. So I just had my 3-month checkup yesterday, literally yesterday. I can't even remember the days. Which was very interesting because it was like a little bit over 3 months with the whole COVID thing going on. They did everything well. They checked my temperature to make sure I didn't have COVID before entering. I had to wear a mask. I just want to make sure that that's said because they followed protocol, making sure that there was a limit of like 10 people or less in the clinic. I had to call in before I entered the building, so they were like very precautious about seeing me for my checkup. But my checkup went really well, you guys. I have 20/20 vision. That's crazy to say. I've had glasses for several years, since I was like 12 or younger. I don't even know. I've had glasses for a really, really long time. I healed up really well, and she told me that I can go back to doing like regular stuff. So I can go swimming, I can go to the sauna, like I can go back to like having a normal life now. I mean, I did have a normal life before, but I can go back to like doing activities even though everything's closed. But that's just like really good news to me. At my 1 month checkup, my eyes were a little blurry, and I was really concerned. I was nervous. I was like, do I have to go back to like what's going on? But she just said that I was like, my eyes were dry, so I had to put these eye drops. I don't think I showed you guys these. These are the eye drops that I use. They are preservative free, and they're really great to lubricate your eyes. I don't know if individuals can use it just because, but they're like really great. They are amazing. They instantly lubricate your eye, and I've been using it at least twice a day, one in the morning and then one at the nighttime. But you use it if your eyes are like really dry. So you can use it more than once. It's like there's no limit to how many times you can use it in a day. So those are really great. I like it. I haven't really had any issues. Like I said, I try to keep it at twice a day just so they're lubricated. They did give me some sunglasses because your eyes are pretty sensitive, like a month to 2 months. So you have to wear sunglasses for a while. Also, like the wind, so your eyes don't get dry. But my eyes have already been sensitive to the sun, so I wear sunglasses every time it's like really, really sunny anyways. Like 2 weeks after I had my surgery, I'm like, oh my gosh, I no longer have to wear contacts. I no longer have to put on glasses. I'm like, this is a whole new experience. That was amazing. I no longer have to mess with my eyes. Honestly, everything went well. I highly, highly recommend it to everybody to get LASIK. Like, it is very scary at first because you don't know what you're getting into, because that's how I was. And I am just so excited to have 20/20 vision, you guys. I think, I came into 2020 with 20/20 vision. I was ready for this year. I feel like everybody was ready for this year. I was like, I'm gonna show off my new eyes. I'm gonna be acting a damn fool. But you know what? Diosito said, not this year. I'm gonna list down the description of the place that I went to go get my LASIK, because they did an awesome job. of like my whole procedure since the beginning I walked into the clinic until still now. Now look at me with makeup on. I can go swimming if I want to. Well, that's a lie because everything's closed. But if the pool was open, I could go swimming. I have 20/20 vision. I can say that. And I'm gonna leave it at that. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments, and I'll answer them to my knowledge. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this gave you a better insight of what having a LASIK surgery would be like post surgery, and I hope it pushes you to get LASIK if you were considering to get LASIK or getting LASIK in the future. But thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Have a wonderful Friday.